I have a problem, and I bet you have it too. Are you one of those people who keep hopping around things and just cannot stick to doing one thing? Do you also curse yourself for not focusing on one specific skill and mastering it? Because I curse myself a lot. I consider myself a jack of all trades and a master of none. One day you will see me trading, another day you will see me at my computer coding, and the day after that you will see me creating content like this on YouTube. So, what do you think in this world is going to give you an extra advantage? Is it being a specialist or a generalist? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. When we were younger, our parents, teachers, and people around us usually asked us one question: what do you want to become when you grow big? Now that I think about it, I feel the way that question was asked to us was totally wrong. Because when they asked us what do you want to become, that made our vision very narrow. We would have answered it saying, I want to become a pilot, an engineer, or a scientist. But instead of asking us what do you want to become, if they had asked us what interests you the most, what are you more curious about, that would have completely changed the way we answered that question. Although both ways are still pointing to the same question, the way they are framed makes all the difference. While one question completely limits your options and closes the door for creativity, the other one broadens your vision. Think about it. The question, what do you want to become, is more specific. You couldn't have answered, I want to become a scientist and a musician. But on the other hand, the question, what interests you the most or what are you more curious about, that is more open. You're now given options to choose from. For years, this feeling of a jack of all trades and a master of none made me feel like a failure. I thought I was undisciplined, lacked motivation and purpose. But last week, something happened and that completely changed the way I thought about myself. I was scrolling through my YouTube Shorts feed and I happened to come across a video where the guy says, a jack of all trades is a master of none is all good, but you have not been told the full quote. He says the full quote is, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than master of one. I repeat, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than master of one. The moment I heard the full quote, I paused for a second and I thought my whole life was a lie. Because all my life I believed being a generalist is not going to take me anywhere and I have to be a specialist in order to achieve something. But that was a big fat lie. Look at the world now. If you're a coder, AI is coming for you. If you're a writer or a designer, AI is coming for you. Specializing is a 20th century trap. It was actually meant for factory workers who needed to do just one thing for 40 years. Don't go too far, just look at your parents' generation. All they had to do was become a specialist and they're happily settled for life now. But you and I, we are not of that generation. The math is completely different now. For years, life followed a straight line. You picked one skill, you got better at it, and you stayed in that lane for decades. And that's the reason why our parents could spend 30-40 years in the same job, because tools didn't change every year, industries moved slowly, and knowledge expired very late. But now, the world has stopped moving in straight lines. A software developer today needs logic, design sense, communication, and some basic business understanding. And a creator today is not just a writer or an actor, but is also an editor, marketer, and an analyst. Here is a quick story about one of the greatest minds of our time. In 1973, a young guy dropped out of his college, and since he had no plans, he decided to stay on campus. And while on campus, he enrolled himself into a useless class that had nothing to do with his career. You know what he chose? He chose calligraphy. And all his friends thought he was crazy and he was wasting his time. They even told him, hey, you are a tech guy, why are you even learning to write fancy letters? But 10 years later, that useless hobby literally changed the world. Because the guy had the understanding of the art of letters and the science of computers, he was able to create the computers with one of the most beautiful typographies. You know what he created? He created Macintosh, or the Mac that we all use today. And the guy was none other than Steve Jobs. Now think of this for a moment. If Steve Jobs had decided to stay as a specialist and didn't explore his other interests like calligraphy, then probably we would have not seen the computers we are seeing right now. And our computers would have looked like a boring calculator. Now you might ask me, what is the solution then? Should I be a specialist or a generalist? After listening to whatever I have spoken until now, you would have probably made up your mind to quit the specialist path and now you want to explore your other interests as a generalist. But what if I tell you that even being a generalist in 2026 is not as good an option as you think? You are confused, right? I am telling you not to be a specialist and I am also telling you to not be a generalist. Then what is even left now? Let me explain the 3 specialization models, and the third one is what you should be following in order to stay relevant in this world. The first one is I shape or the specialist. It's called an I shape because the letter I has a long vertical bar in the center, and people who follow this model go deep into one thing and they are the best at what they do. But if you take them out of their lane, they are completely lost. I call this the single point trap. It's great for stability but dangerous for a changing world. The second one is the T shape. T has a broad horizontal bar and a long vertical bar at the center. What does it mean? It means people who follow T have a deep understanding about one skill and they are also good at a lot of other things, which is represented by the horizontal bar. It's like you're a marketing manager, but you're also good at coding, design, and sales. This model is very useful, but nowadays a lot of people are trying to get into this. And when something becomes too crowded, it no longer stays valuable or special, it becomes average. The third and the most important model is the M shape or the polymath. If you look at the letter M, you will see multiple vertical bars and a long horizontal bar at the top. This is the new world model. You aren't just expert at one thing, but you have mastered 2 to 3 seemingly unrelated skills. I call this the hybrid master. It's like you're a data analyst, a writer, and an artist too. If you just take these 3 skills at their face values, they are completely unrelated. But what if you combine all 3? A person who follows M will be able to use his artistic skills and data to tell a story. That's when the story becomes interesting and the person becomes irreplaceable. M shape feels so interesting, right? Because now you're not just known for one thing, you're a master of multiple things. But let me tell you something, I am trying to follow this M in my life and it feels so difficult and frustrating because the progress is uneven and you are always a beginner somewhere. But trust me, don't stop it. Be consistent and you will see the fruits. The next time when someone tells you to pick a lane, just smile. They are training for a world that doesn't exist anymore. And your messy brain, that isn't a bug, that's a feature. You weren't meant to be a single purpose tool. You are meant to be an explorer. So go ahead and start that useless hobby that you always wanted to start. You're not wasting your time. You are in the process of building a beast. If you loved this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.